Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. In this segment, we call it the Business Spotlight. And in this Business Spotlight, my guests on our show every month, Verner Dixon. How you doing, Verner?
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. How about yourself?
Very good, yes.
Good.
Appreciate you being here. Verner's been on our show every month to talk to us and educate us on cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin. What's going on in Bitcoin? It's been a rocky roller coaster. Matter of fact, the roller coaster has been as wild as the one at New York. You know, we go way up and it goes back down.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Up again. New York roller coaster. So those of you in Vegas, you know what I mean.
With a couple of side twists.
That's right, with some side twists in it. That's right. So yeah, Verner, so give us a report. What's going on with Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is absolutely fabulous. I always start with that anyway, because of the involvement in Bitcoin. I know everybody has been panicking lately,
Yes.
particularly ever since it dropped down to about $6,000. Today, however, it is up over 10. So
that's good.
It's starting to
I forgot to check it. That's good.
trend
to hear.
up a little bit. I check it before I come on the show to make sure I got something to say
Very
about
good.
that. But one of the things, in terms of all of the currencies are down now, some of them less than 50% or whatever. But there was a lot of concern about what the regulators were going to talk about. The SEC and the Commodities Futures Trade Commission, those chairmen, there was a meeting on February 6th where there was I don't know if you want to call it a convention, but a lot of the luminaries got together and talked about not only cryptocurrency, but the financial industry in general. Cryptocurrency was also one of the biggest issues on the table. And everybody wanted to know what these two individuals were going to say. Luckily, thank goodness that they have teenagers.
Oh.
And with them having teenagers, they're looking at this industry in terms of how they should regulate it. They're saying they don't want to kill it for the new generation of people who are using it.
Right.
The chairman of the SEC said that his kids have been asking him about it, and one of their older cousins is buying cryptocurrency and telling them that they should get involved. So they're coming to the dad to say, what's going on here, Dad? Is this something that we should be involved in? Those kind of things. The issues that they're dealing with, they don't want anyone to get scammed.
Right.
That's the issue that they're really
absolutely.
struggling with in terms of how to manage it without killing it.
Right.
And I don't think you can kill it because the only way you could kill it is the internet has to go down and stay down. So that's not going to happen. The technology is there. They know that the blockchain technology is a revolutionary environment to be in, and so they don't want to kill that kind of thought process. But the real issue is ICOs, initial coin offerings, and trying to determine whether those coins or tokens are called securities or something else, or currency. And so that's one of the things that they're struggling with. And they're talking about if a token comes out and it's based on the company increasing value in the company in order to increase the value of the coin,
Makes sense.
then they look at it as a security. It's not like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They look at those as currencies. So they are starting to move in that direction to make sure that it's safe and secure for people, the rest of us, to kind of get involved in cryptocurrency environment, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it also helps to boost the other currencies as well.
Good.
And they're looking, thank goodness, they're looking at the what I call the prognosticators are still talking about $28,000 to $50,000 per coin this year. This year. So I'm still excited about that, and I'm in for the long term. I'm going to ride this guy until it drops down sweaty and foaming, that kind of thing. But now is the time to get involved. Now is the time to start, use the term investing, but getting involved in cryptocurrencies, because they are down now. And they may go down a little bit more but come back up. But based on the information that's coming out, they're going to start slowly moving up. Again, some of the countries, Japan, obviously they had recognized it in 2016 as a currency.
That's right. Yeah.
And some of their larger exchanges are joining together so that they can begin to regulate themselves. So regulation is coming, folks. Regulation is coming.
True. I want to ask you a question on that. I understand that one of the exchanges made an agreement with the IRS to report anyone making over $20,000.
That's Coinbase.
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 What's up with that?
Coinbase, well, the IRS attacked Coinbase first a couple of years ago and wanted records on everybody who was dealing in cryptocurrency.
Right.
And they went to court and they negotiated a reduction in the number of people that are required. And so they were looking at anybody who did $20,000 in transactions during the year.
Makes sense.
What they just did also is send out 1099s. And that really caught a lot of people by surprise because they didn't pre-announce it. They just showed up.
Just showed up.
Yeah, but what's happened with those 1099s is a lot of them are incorrect. One guy said he did $8,000 on the exchange, and he's obligated to pay the IRS millions of dollars. So they're having a discussion in terms of getting that taken care of.
Why did they give in, and did they have to?
It was either that or continue their process in court. Actually, the government actually told the IRS to back off a little bit.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting.
Really...
because the IRS seemed to have been overstepping their bounds in terms of all of the data that they were requesting.
Okay.
All they needed to know is who is filing taxes, who should be filing taxes, because they realized that cryptocurrency being as large as it is, there was a lot of millionaires made, and there was hardly anybody reporting taxes. So they were looking for some way to find out what was going on. Coinbase was the most well-known, and it's the biggest one, and there's a lot of people who've joined Coinbase, so they went after Coinbase first. And I haven't heard anything about them going after others, but I'm sure they're waiting in the wings in terms of doing that. But Coinbase is the one that's trying to do that.
So Coinbase, again, for the audience out there, Coinbase is the exchange.
Yes.
Is one exchange of several exchanges. How many exchanges are there?
That's an interesting question. I hadn't even thought about that. I only look at how many currencies there are. Now there's 1,500 currencies. In terms of looking at the exchanges, I know there's over 20 exchanges that I'm aware of at this point.
So there's not a exchanges union or association?
There's not an exchanges union. There's
or
not
a lobbying group.
No.
Now that's what's needed. A lobbying group of all the exchanges get together and lobby our government and IRS to stay off.
For real.
Right?
And I think that's one of the reasons that two of the exchanges, largest exchanges in Japan, are getting together so that they can regulate themselves. If they figure that they can regulate themselves and make sure that there's no scams and things going on through their exchanges, then the government is less likely to be on their backs.
Right, because that's the government's angle, is to protect the citizens from scammers, like you're saying. Getting the FCC involved, the IRS, and the other SEC, and all the rest of them involved. Interesting.
It's a very interesting, dynamic environment to be in. I mean, there is funds to be made, a lot of money to be made, but you have to manage it respectively, and respectively. And I say, do your homework. And when you're talking about ICOs, when you're talking about the currencies in general, do your homework. Now is the time to invest while the the amounts are low and reasonable.
Buy low, sell high, right?
Buy low, sell high, but also make sure that you've done your homework. If it's a real token or a real coin, it has technology or an application behind it, and so you can rest assured that some of those are good. Just because it's on the market, the coin market cap exchange, the one that tell you about these 1,500 coins that are out there, just because it's high on the list doesn't mean that it's a good value.
That's very good, Vernon. You know, I would like to hold you over in our next segment and continue this. This is really good information about which cryptocurrencies to get involved in, because Verner's right. There's a lot of scams that are out there, and it may start off at a few cents, and you buy thousands of dollars worth it, and it turns out it's not worth the money that you're spending on it. So there's a way to protect yourself from those types of scams also. We'll talk about that in our next segment here with Vernon Dixon. My name is Mac Jackson Jr., and you're listening to Technology Review. We're here every Friday at 3 p.m. We'll be right back here in Technology Review after these messages.
All right. Thank you.